here every Friday live at 8 p.m. on iliveradio.com. Formerly of Toronto's FM radio airwaves, DJs Gene King and Ray Prasad are in the house once again to continue their tradition, promoting great house music to the world. You will hear exclusive releases and sometimes traveling back in time via some of the best disco, soul, funk, and house. So keep it locked and enjoy the ride. DJs Gene King and Ray Prasad have provided their listeners since 1996. Vibes and vinyl in your face.
The internet's number one on the World Wide Web. iLive Radio.
Live from the iLive studios in Toronto, Soothe My Soul presents Mars Venus with your host, Patrick O. Morris. Join the conversation now on our Twitter feed at Patrick Morris or in the chat room at www.ilivewebradio.com. And now, here's the man who is helping us find our path between the sexes, Patrick O. Morris. Live from the iLive studios in Toronto, Soothe My Soul presents Mars Venus with your host, Patrick O. Morris. Join the conversation now on our Twitter feed at Patrick Morris or in the chat room at www.ilivewebradio.com. And now, here's the man who is helping us find our path between the sexes, Patrick O. Morris.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Nyla, stop laughing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
So, Nyla came into the studio today with a fancy new do, and I have to say, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Thanks.
It's amazing how black women can grow the hair overnight.
Well, you know, we have magic powers.
Magic powers.
Melanin magic, that's what we call it.
What?
Melanin magic.
Melanin magic. I wish somebody would, hook a brother up because
you need Rogaine or
my
something.
my hairline is like, I don't know, it's running backwards.
It's not impossible.
The more I realize, the older I get, is the more I get hair in places I don't want. I'm like, why is this happening?
We don't wanna
And
know.
where I
Patrick,
want it, it's
that's-
like it's
you're
moving. It's like it's migrating
You're
or
starting
something.
the show with way too much information. Like we don't need to go there.
No?
No.
Okay.
Not
all
today.
right. You're looking very nice with your new do there. Your
Thank
fancy,
you,
fancy thing.
Patrick.
All right. So today we've got Donna. Donna's back, and I don't know if you guys remember. Donna was on the show quite a while ago, and we had so much fun that I had to bring her back, and she brought a friend with her. Before we jump into this, though, I just wanted to say to the folks, in Kenya and Paris. Few weeks, last few years, but it seems like in the last few weeks things have moved up a notch. I just want to say to everybody out there in cyberspace who is grieving a loss of some kind, or is kind of getting scared about what's going on this planet. Our prayers and our hearts are with everybody right now. So I just wanted to take a minute and just recognize that. We are going to do a show a little later on. I want to do a show a little bit about this topic, because there's a lot of concern that's going on right now, and there seems to be a lot of I can't even say the word properly, Islamophobia, stuff that's going on, and some people saying Christians in Islam and all this kind of stuff that's going on. So stay tuned, because we're gonna have a few people in and talk about that particular topic. But for today, Donna, hi.
Hello.
It's good to see you. Looking lovely as usual.
Well, thank you, Patrick.
And you brought a friend. Who's your friend? Tell us about your friend here. She seems so quiet over there.
Oh, please
Very quiet.
don't let her fool you.
I'm very quiet.
This is Mika Van Veeld of Mika Van Veeld Travel. You know what? I'm going to pass it over to her so she can explain it more in depth of who Miss Mika Van Veeld is.
Thank you, Donna. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, yes, my name is Mika Van Veeld, and I run a company called Mika Van Veeld Travel. And basically what I do is I focus, yes, it is travel, but I focus more on couples getaways, adult getaways, really doing a number of different things to help couples realize why it's important to really step away from their everyday and really get back in touch with them and why they got into a relationship, why they fell in love. Expanding now more from just couples and actually connecting people. So doing a number of different events, planning a number of different trips so singles can actually get connected while they're away.
So it's kind of interesting because I know you've got Savage Desires, and you brought some things here we might want to talk about.
Products, not
Some
things.
some products.
Get it right, Patrick.
Some products.
They're accessories.
Some accessories, okay. So some items that we're going to talk a little bit about. So how did you guys, start to work together?
As you know, Savage Desires is not just about products. It's about sensuality, about the meeting of the minds, the body, the spirit, and to kind of bring couples together, to kind of bring the flame back into a relationship. Meek, on the other hand, she does travel, and her focus initially was about taking couples away from the everyday activities. So we decided to collaborate together, that we have programs specified and built for couples, not only for their sexuality, but also their sensuality.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how Mika and I decided to work together.
So you're taking more of a sort of a holistic approach. You're trying to help people to meet, and hopefully get the fire started. And then once that's happened, yes, I said that. Now, don't look at me funny like that.
Exactly.
And get the fire started.
Get the fire started.
Okay.
You know what?
And then maintain the flame afterwards.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's kind of the basis of my business, right? Is keeping the flame aflame.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, going back and thinking about with my own relationship, that was one of the things that we focused on was, yes, you're together, you've got your kids, you've got life, you have everything, but it's reality. In society, we get bogged down with work, kids, and everything. You forget about that spark that you had when you just met, or it's when you just start dating and it's let's actually go out, let's do this, let's do that. People forget about that stuff. So
You get
realistically,
comfortable, right?
exactly, they get way too comfortable.
Right.
So this is the reason why I chose to marry my love for travel and just really connection, being in a relationship, even if you're just starting out. And that's kind of why I chose to kind of switch things up a bit. Instead of focusing just on married couples, really focus on people that are looking to get into relationships, right? Because if you don't pay attention to anything as far as a connection or relationship is concerned, you're just leaving it to go haywire. So once you're really paying attention to, this is us, this is why we're together, this is why we got together, really maintaining that and continuing that. And for me, being in travel, I'm a firm believer in, you can't just be going. You have to take some kind of a break.
That's right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be you're going on a plane, to go away somewhere. That'll be amazing if we can do that all the time. But being in the city that we're in right now, there are many of places that you can go that are within close proximity. You just have to simply get in your car.
Yeah. Right.
So it's really just bringing that focus back on every 3 months, once a year, once a month, whatever it is, depending on your lifestyle. We need that weekend. We need that night away. We need that 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, whatever it is. Keep that as a focus.
Yes, like a mental break away from
Exactly.
everyday life. That's what she said.
To unplug,
Yeah,
to
away
plug
from
back in.
everything. Just
Okay.
like what
Right.
she says, you don't have to travel out of Canada to do that. Take a half an hour drive. Or, even kick the kids out of the house. It's just
Yeah.
focus on each other.
Drive to
Right.
South
Just-
Oshawa.
yeah.
Exactly.
South
Something.
Oshawa. That's right.
Something.
Let's go to South Oshawa.
Or even when you
All
start
the
to
places,
play.
it's so random.
It's just a half an hour away. Find something South Oshawa. I don't know.
Many bed and breakfasts in and around the city.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Bed and breakfast in South Oshawa.
Yeah, that's right.
You might get more than what you. I'm sorry, South Oshawa, if you're listening. I was up north on the weekend, and somebody said they visited Toronto, and they ended up in South Oshawa, and their experience just kind of. Anyways, just move on.
I don't even want to know.
Just move on from South Oshawa. Okay, so all right. Naila is single. We need to find Naila a nice guy.
Okay,
Um,
I want to see
It's
her
okay.
married
Every
soon.
show,
I wanna see her
Patrick
married soon.
feels the need to highlight my singleness.
Because
But you know-
I call it advertising.
Every guest is charged with the job of finding Naila a mate. So I just want you guys to
Mind
know
you, we
there's
had a-
no
we had a-
pressure. He
That
does
means
this
the
to
mate's
everybody.
coming.
No, that's
There are a lot of
fine.
people
We had a really good-
Here's
we had a-
what-
Apparently,
We had a guy on the show a little while ago that, you know, I don't know, maybe we should call him up. So,
I'm not even.
So she's single. She wants to meet a guy. You know, she comes to you guys and says, you know what am I them there? What do I do?
Okay, so you know what? The man them there all over the place. Number one,
All both.
Them all both. But it's the quality of men that you're looking for.
Amen.
But that's one of the
sister.
things that I hear a lot of women say all the time is, you know, where are the men? I look in church, there's none there. You know,
You know what? The
go
men
to
are
clubs,
there.
there's none there. There's men all over the place. I don't
men
know where
all
they
over,
are.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is we're focusing on everything else. We're looking from the top to the bottom. If you don't have big feet, I don't know about that, you know.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Ouch.
Women really look at guys' feet? Really?
they still do that.
Okay.
But,
I'm a shoe lover.
yes, there you go.
You're a shoe lover.
I love shoes.
It's
so
true.
I'm automatically
And the pant has to fit over the shoe just the right way.
And the belt.
There's a science to it,
What was
Patrick.
it? What was it?
There's
The
a science
what?
to it.
The what?
The pants have
Oh,
to
the
fit
pants
over
have
the
to fit over
shoe
the
the
shoe.
right way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay.
back in the days, I mean, we're gotten older. So what it is, and I think a lot of women are realizing now that they don't want to settle for any man just to keep their company, and I think that's a big thing. You know, we all have our own ways of we have our own ways. You know, and some people we can deal with it, some people can't.
Right.
And if they decided to start courting, do they even court anymore?
I think so.
It's
Yeah,
still
people
out
do.
there.
They
It's
still
still
do.
out there,
So okay,
yeah.
during the courting session, for some people, a person, male or female, may just say one thing that may turn them off.
Well, what's courting these days, though? Because
Well, I
you know,
know, that's
some
what
of
I'm
the stuff, it's like, you know, you get somebody might send a text, or you might get a text. What are you
Yeah,
doing? You know,
yeah.
you know, and it's
And you see
like,
this,
what is courting?
no, I guess everybody has their own way of courting. For me,
I'm single.
I
I
don't
don't
mind
know.
texting, but pick up the phone and call me. A texting is one of the worst thing for me. I want to hear your voice.
I don't mind texting, but yeah, there's times where I feel like a phone call is more.
Yes.
It's a different level
It's
of
totally
Yeah,
different.
it just takes it to
opens up,
another
you
level.
know,
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
does.
I want to hear the
It does.
smile in his voice when we're talking.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa. I'm hoping
They
that
could
he's
send you a
smiling.
smiley face.
What was that?
That's not the
Send you a
same.
smiley
It's
face.
Patrick, stop it.
not the same.
You open up and you do a quick and then send and no. You have a conversation, you hear the person smile, you kind of get to pick up, okay,
Yes.
this conversation's going somewhere, I'm starting to feel this person,
Yeah.
or maybe not
Yes,
really,
you know,
or
the
It's about,
vibration
is it
needs
about
to
you want their
rise.
undivided attention?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
we
when you're
want them
in
to
the midst of a
unplug.
conversation,
Okay.
you are undivided.
Yes.
I know you're.
It's true.
We need to be unplugged from, you know, and talk to us. You know, let's get to know each other.
Okay, so where does Naila find a guy? Where do we
All
hook her up?
both. You didn't hear? That's the
There
first
is
thing
a-
Donna
all
said. They're
both.
everywhere.
All
All about them, they're
Everywhere?
all over.
They're at the gym. They're at the grocery store. They're at the LCBO. They're at the gas
online.
station. They're
The thing about
online.
it is, too, Naila and Patrick, we don't make eye connection with anybody. You know what I mean? We see a guy that we like, or a woman that we like, it's automatic. We're taking our eyes off. And the approach is, when you see someone you like, make eye contact. You never know if he may be single or she may be single. You know,
Right.
maybe there's a connection, but if you take your eyes away and look on the ground for some reason, we won't know. And now we do that. We do that a lot.
Make eye contact.
Eye contact is huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I find too, especially as women, we, especially when we're out there, we want to put ourselves out there. We want to get back into the dating scene. We ourselves, we're not ready, and we don't
Yeah.
realize that we're not ready. So really focusing back on you to say, okay, fine, I'm gonna make sure, you know, I'm comfortable within my skin, within myself, and this is what I really like about what Donna's doing is, instead of just focusing on the products and the toys, it's really taking it back to self-love and sensuality, and make sure that you're comfortable with you. Because
Okay, so
how
just
could
before you go on there,
Yeah.
when you say making sure you're ready, because some people they don't know they're not ready. Like
They
how
may
do you figure that out? How do you know, what kind of process do you go through to
Sort of-
say, all right, I'm ready now?
For me personally, exactly
do
what
this?
I
Therapy.
did was kind of do a personal inventory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it out there and got to realize exactly what I was looking for in a person.
Mm-hmm.
And just because of the type of person that I am and where I'm at, it's like, well, how could I comfortably say I want this from a person when I'm not ready to deliver those same exact things to that
Exactly.
person?
Okay.
So then start working on myself to say, okay, fine, X, Y, and Z, these are like, they're deal breakers for me. So I need to make sure that if these are deal breakers for somebody else, then I'm good with that. Right? So really, and I found through the whole process, once I started kind of tapping into me and working on myself and realizing what works, what doesn't work, what it's like, it's a hard stop, stop, we're not moving forward, or what I can kind of live with, I kind of started to mold that image of the person that I wanted to be with.
Yes.
Right? And then within that, making sure that I'm creating this person that I want them to be with. So with that, I'm a lot more comfortable with me now. So it's like Donna said, if people meet each other, it's like you don't look at each other no more. There's no eye contact or whatever. For me, it's just like, I'm good with me.
Yeah.
So you are another person, and I know that I'm comfortable enough in my skin to say, if there's a connection, either way, we're going to end up together.
Yes.
So I'm not worried about, oh no, geez, I'm so shy. I can't look at them. I can't.
Because even now, you have married couple, women more so, is not even comfortable showing their full body or their nakedness to their partners. That means they're not comfortable with themselves. And how can you love yourself and offer love to your partner? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe that speaks to a deeper thing, and that is if you're not happy or you're not comfortable with yourself, but then you want your partner to be happy and comfortable with
Or
that.
you want your partner to make you happy.
Exactly.
No one can
Exactly.
make you happy. You
Yeah.
have to be
It's got to come
responsible
from
for
you.
yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. It does.
Okay, so Naila, you're comfortable with who you are, right?
90%.
See a guy, you can look him in the eye.
She's like, I'm almost there.
I'm almost there.
Just 10 more percent to go.
10 more
And when
to
that's
go.
done,
I'm
So
working
she's
on it.
like,
I'm working on
almost
it.
ready to date. Okay. So now she comes and she says, all right, so you got 10% you need to work on. How are you going to help her out?
Well, first of all, myself and Mika just started a singles group on Facebook. We are building a website right now as we speak.
What's the name of the group?
It's, you know what? I'm just throwing out there. I'm just calling it Desirable Singles for now.
Desirable Singles.
Because we are very
Yes.
desirable women.
All right.
You know?
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
please.
And I mean, I literally started a couple weeks ago when I called you last week. And
okay.
I called you. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
you know what, Patrick, So we decided to do that. And with that group is I kind of want to open up a forum for people, male and female, for me asking a couple questions and feedbacks on where they are in terms of themselves or their love of life and what is it that they want. Because as Mika said, a lot of people don't even know what they want. How can I want you as a man if I don't know what I want? I've been there where I'm married for so many years and, you did the mommy and the wife role and I could not identify with me. So in the last 5 years since my separation, I started identifying with me, starting to love in me, understanding what I like. And the reason why I kind of identify with women, when I said, as a woman and a wife, my husband could never see me naked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now, please, hello, with all the fat hanging down, that's me because I love me.
Right.
It's not about nobody else, right? So
Exactly.
you have to accept me as I am. And with Naila, what we're going to start doing in this particular group is going out. Meeting like-minded people. Maybe you'll meet me and I'm the 100%, and then probably I may say something that you thought, you know what, let me
Never
look into
thought about
myself
that.
and,
Right.
and do that, right?
Right.
So this particular group that I want to create is start doing outings. Mika's going to be creating different places that we're going to go, and we're hoping to go away in January.
No.
Weekend.
Hold on a second. We're
Changing up the
hold on a
plan.
second. We're going away.
We are.
We're not
okay,
hoping to
January.
go. We're
Okay,
going.
We are going away.
Thank
in
you.
Get it right,
January,
Donna.
Sorry.
Thank
So
you.
where
For
are
a
you guys
weekend.
going?
We're thinking Blue Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're thinking Blue
So
Mountain.
there's
Some
this.
skiing.
I heard about an event in Blue Mountain in January. Actually,
The MLK?
Yeah,
Getaway,
yeah.
yes. So I want
Are
to
you
see if
planning
I could
to join that?
Yes, we're planning on
Gotcha.
joining that.
Yes.
What
So
is-
it's a yearly event. This particular group called MLK that puts on at Blue Mountain every year. And these group of people are open-minded people. When I say open-minded people, just think open-minded people.
Open in
Okay.
every sense
Yeah,
of the word.
open in every sense of the way.
No
And
inhibitions
the thing,
whatsoever.
and
No
the thing,
inhibitions.
and
Okay.
the thing about it is, I mean, if you're shy, I mean, you don't have to necessarily be with that particular group because there's going to be a whole bunch of different women and men. You know what I mean? But at least they will have a sense of talking to everyone.
Right.
And kind of being open to different lifestyle or different views, opinions and views, and you know what I mean? So I think this would be an amazing weekend for people to go to.
And I think it's an opportunity for people that they're so used to now the same every day, the same old.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for them to really tap into something that's different.
Yes.
Right? Because especially if you've never been to an event like that before, it's like, okay, I might not have to take part in certain things that are going on, but at least it's not opening my eyes.
Exactly.
Because that's another part of kind of getting to know yourself and tapping into yourself, where we grow up and we have all of these thoughts and images like, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, or this is
Exactly.
bad and that's
Exactly.
bad. And you get older and you start to experience certain things and you get exposed to different things that are out there. And then you're like, I think I kind of like that. Or maybe I should try that.
Yeah.
But
Or
there's a certain level of, I don't know if fear is the right word, but certain level of,
you're right.
call it programming maybe.
It is.
Yeah.
it is
You grow-
absolutely
you grow up a certain way,
programming.
You experience certain things. and
Well,
you
you're a product
kind
of your
live-
environment, right? So it's
Yeah.
a matter of what you're
Yeah,
exposed
but
to
you
as
know,
well.
the
So
thing
you
about
have to
this
try new
particular
things.
thing is you're not forcing anything on anyone.
Exactly.
It's just an
Exactly.
open your eye type of thing.
Exactly.
My last article that I wrote for Bi Blacks is when fantasy become reality. You know what I mean? As women, we're going to talk about women because men do their thing, but as women, we have so much inhibitions. We have all these fantasies in our head, and we're scared to play it out, right? So I'm not saying but talk about it. Get a girlfriend, talk to your partner. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking this is not going to be a fantasy getaway, but at least it's going to open your mind to other people.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
exposure to something
Exposed
new
to
at the
others.
very
New,
least.
Exactly.
Is it easier? Again, I talk to a lot of people, but
Everybody.
yes, I talk to everybody. And it always seems like it's harder for women to talk to their partner about their fantasies,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
about making that happen.
Yeah.
So what I've experienced is if you, I've experienced that where that fear because of her programming,
Yes.
it exists where you feel like you can't go to your partner and talk to them about it. Now what I'm realizing is that it's not necessarily a red flag, but to you, it should open your eyes to be like, okay, this is an area that we could work on in our relationship
Right.
because our level of communication isn't necessarily there. But on top of that, what I'm realizing now is because I've allowed myself to kind of take off the blinders in some sense and really just be more open to whatever's out there, I could talk to a girlfriend. I can call Donna up and be like, you know what, girl, and talk to other girlfriends about certain things. And because I'm comfortable now having those conversations, I can go back to the relationship with the person that I'm with, and it's a lot easier to have those types of conversations. So it's a work in progress. But you take it kind of one step at a time. If it's not there with the partner, talk to a girlfriend about them, and then you can take it back to the partner, kind of introduce it slowly. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy to kind of feed off what Mika is saying. It's because of the whole idea of non-communication between couples. Because honestly, probably the husband is thinking the same thing. Shoot, I wonder what my wife would look like
In a
this.
lot of
But yeah,
cases.
but they're not communicating. So
Right.
I'm talking to my girlfriend instead of me talking to my partner and saying, babes, because sometimes, especially in a relationship, if you start young, you're in a young relationship, your views were different. Then you start getting mature. Then your views are starting to change, and your desires are starting to change. Your sensuality starts to change. Your sexuality starts to change. But guess what? Now I'm scared to go talk to him because he probably is going to think of which man you're talking to or which woman you're talking to.
Where are you
why
getting
your
this
mind is-
from?
You know what I mean?
Right.
So then they're scared and they're in their shell and not realizing that maybe their partner wants to hear this.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So, all right, we've got. She's working on herself, getting ready to, to be prepared for this guy. You're planning different events.
Yes, both
We're
here
not talking
and
about it.
away.
And away. So
Yes.
for the people who can't go, Blue
Go
Mountain
away.
or go abroad or whatever, I don't know, maybe they ain't got their papers or whatever.
We can work on that.
No papers, no car, no driver's license.
But
You can't go nowhere.
TTC,
Full
train.
You need to walk to wherever you gotta go to unplug.
So for the local people,
Yes, yes.
what type of events are you hosting for them?
We just had one last weekend, which was amazing. It was a
Did you know about this, Naila?
No.
yeah, it was an event where we were being taught the art of burlesque dancing.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend who
So-
actually really wants to do that.
Yeah, it'll be coming back again. It's
Okay,
definitely we're putting together a number of events, but for that particular one, we definitely want it to be kind of at least a once a month kind of thing.
Nice.
And what was interesting is this one, it was all ladies because again, a lot of women they're uncomfortable,
themselves.
right? So it was all ladies, which was great. Everyone came in, they got a boa or like gloves, and it was great because we had the session where the instructor was teaching us burlesque dancing, but then everyone had an opportunity to start imagining and visualizing, right? Put yourself in the place as if you're exactly you're in front of your partner. This is what you're thinking. This is what you're doing. It got a little bit deeper. It's like you're getting in touch with yourself now. So it's like, what part of your body do you really like and you want to accentuate? And if it's your legs, your ass, your breast, whatever, it's like your hand is there. You're focusing on it. And it was great because not only was it a fun event, and women had an opportunity to really connect on a level that generally you wouldn't think, oh yeah, I'm going to go to a burlesque event with a whole bunch of women. No, everyone was on that same page where it's like they want to kind of open things up and take things to that next level. And people just don't know how to do that. So when you're in a room with a number of women that are on that same level, it's like, yeah, everyone has that like mind. Is I really got into it and I'm taking off my gloves with my teeth and throwing it at my girlfriend. And you leave there and you're like, wow. See,
yes, you cannot go, Patrick.
That
it is not for
particular
you.
one, that particular
Jason,
one.
wouldn't you want to go to one of these things?
It is not for you.
That particular one was women only because those are the things that help a woman to really work on the process of getting comfortable with herself. So now when she goes home or when she's with that mate, that partner, whatever it is, it's like, okay, it starts to come back. Because then when you're with your partner, you touch yourself in that particular spot or you have the glove on and you're taking it off. It's like, okay, I remember how I felt when I was at that event. And now automatically it starts to come back.
I have women calling me and saying, Donna, it's been a week and I'm still practicing. They're still feeling sexual. They're still feeling the sensuality. You know, and so they're practicing. So the next one probably I'm going to be doing for the men is something called tantric yoga. That's a couples thing. Oh, boy. So yeah. So that's coming as well, and we're going to be doing some pole dancing as well. So there's a whole So there's a whole slew of things that we're organizing
that people can take advantage of locally.
Yes.
So the idea really, I guess to sort of sum it up in a way is just to get women a little bit more comfortable within their own skin.
Yes, and then we'll slowly start to introduce events where the men could be involved, so they can either bring their partner or whoever they're with.
Yeah, you could do a couples burlesque class.
Exactly.
So that's the focus. You know, but we had to start somewhere.
This
is just a feeler that I decided to try. The Savages Irish started to do, and it went amazingly well.
Nice.
So we're going to do it on a monthly event, going forward.
So is it going to be like a singles burlesque thing?
We're going to do singles party.
Exactly. We're going to do we do singles events, but again for the different levels of comfortability of people, it'll be a little bit different. It'll be tasteful.
Yes, very tasteful.
And people will be comfortable, but it'll give people an opportunity, especially being single, to kind of not really force them, but to put them in a place where they kind of have to connect with other singles.
What about, do you guys do speed dating? I've always heard about speed dating.
I don't know about the speed. I don't know about the speed dating thing. Because you know what? So what we're trying to promote is every girl have a guy that's not good for her, but maybe good for someone, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So that's the one I want. So I want professional people that and this is what this site is all about. Let's not only be on the site, but out of
just
the site.
just to hook up.
So if you're a girl and you know a guy in your life, he's single and he may not be good for you, just bring him.
Bring him because you might be able to help him connect with somebody else.
Hand him off.
Hand them off.
And I think too, like the gist of what we're trying to do is because there is speed dating out there. There's sites out there that people can hook up on. So we just don't want to be just your regular site or group or just a hookup, right? Giving people an opportunity to say, yes, I'm looking for a connection. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for somebody else that's looking for the same thing. So already we're starting off on that common ground.
That's right.
Without even going in, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Well, I don't know. What are you looking for?
Speed dating, you have what, 2 minutes? Like
you're rushing through these conversations and you're like, what can you find out about somebody in like 2 minutes?
In 2 minutes,
right?
Your name probably.
What do you do? Where do you work?
You're talking too slow, Donna.
I know, right? Like, I really don't like you. Next.
I don't like your face. Next.
Like, seriously.
So, all right. So you've got the singles thing. You've got the couples thing. I was looking at your website, and you do like honeymoon planning and
Yes.
wedding destinations.
Yes,
and,
yes, yes.
You know, all sorts of
Niceness.
stuff.
Yes.
Niceness to get
The
people away.
luxuries.
But the people have to pay for these things, I guess,
They
for
do.
themselves. You know.
They do.
Yeah.
Free, honey.
Yeah, you know what?
Gotta make that coin.
I'll get to a point in this world where I'll be able to give all that away for free, but for right now,
Right
I'll
now,
pay for it.
if
You
they
ain't
work-
there yet. You gotta
Oh,
make
you know
the
what?
coin.
Consultation is free.
Oh,
Right? Right. Complimentary consultations.
Consultations,
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
So what does it look like? You know, a couple comes to you and they says, okay, we need to get away somewhere.
Exactly.
What's the next step?
What does that go?
Yeah, what does
Well,
that
the
process look
very
like?
first thing that I do is when I sit with them, I'm already excited because I love hearing about couples and their stories and how they got together and those little things. So we sit and we have a conversation. So I ask them the questions, you know, how long have you been together? When did you get together? If they're married, or they're planning a destination wedding, whatever it is. And then I ask them, what was your first date like? What's one thing that you can remember that this person did for you or said to you or whatever it is? Because when I get into planning mode, those are the little things where I'm like, okay, if it's a destination wedding or if it's a honeymoon or an anniversary trip, I try to work with the people on site to say, okay, fine. For their first date, they went to X, Y, and Z restaurant. Like if it's an Italian restaurant, you know, make sure that they have a date night, one night when they're there at the Italian restaurant. Let's try to recreate that for them. Let's try to. So the main thing that I do, especially in the very beginning, is I have a conversation with them, get to know them a little bit. Because that process for them, it's going to help them to start to bring back out, okay, this is how I was feeling when we got together. These are the things that happened. And the process, it's already starting, right? Depending on the type of people that they are and the things that come out, that will lead to the things that I will help to plan for them when they're in destination, right? I've gone through situations where somebody was planning to ask his fiance to marry him. So it's like those little things. I'll probably be working with one partner more than the other, right? So everything just it gets customized. And I work a lot with, you know, the hotels, like sales managers and all that stuff on site. And it's funny because a lot of people will go away on vacation and just thinking, okay, I'm gonna, you know, book something online or whoever, and I'm just gonna go and we're gonna have a great time. It's a lot more than that because you have people that are at these hotels or these villas or whatever it is. They want you to create the best experience for yourself. So if it comes down to when you show up, you've got your bath already set, you've got champagne, you've got flowers in the bathtub. Exactly. You got, depending on the time your flight's coming in, your candles are already lit. You've got everything already preset for you, right? To really create that experience because yes, you can spend your money. Yes, you can go away with whoever, but those memories are what's really going to last, right? So really working with them to find out exactly what's really important because those are the memories that I want to trigger. Like 20 years down the road, I want them to be like, oh yeah, when I went on this vacation that Mika planned for me, this is exactly how it was. This is what happened. This is where it led to, or
The smile on the face. Right?
Yes, always.
So we're bouncing around a little bit. So we talked, you know, about being able to kind of become comfortable in your own skin, and the need to be able to do that before you can really connect with somebody. The burlesque thing or the pole dancing thing that you guys are going to be planning will go a long way in helping somebody to sort of get comfortable in their own skin. You brought some paraphernalia,
Products.
some products,
Not things, products.
products, some items in. That you know, maybe you could talk a little bit about, because I guess these things would fall under the same line of getting to understand your own body, getting to understand yourself.
They all do. But one of my main thing is now that we're focusing on is about sensuality, not only sexuality but also sensuality.
And what's the difference?
Well, sexuality is, you know, you're thinking more sex and
Physical.
and the act of. Sensuality is the feel of understanding your body. It's more
Emotions.
tantric, the mind, body, spirit connection. You know, the loving of yourself, closing your eyes and even
Like the way she's doing that, I did love
Sorry. Even if, for instance, when it comes to tantric, one of the reasons why I'm even introducing tantric, it's about, you can even have an orgasm just being sensual to yourself without even touching yourself, right?
Patrick's like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, we'll talk, Naila, one of our classes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that in
again,
front of
remember,
Patrick.
It's about, it's about your mind.
He's already cracking on me.
I know, right?
No more.
Because
No,
the
okay.
minute you get your mind stimulated, everything else comes after, right? Because we don't want your mind to be thinking about paying the bills, or that the damn kids didn't come home on time, or
Dishes
stuff
in
like
the
Oh my
sink.
God,
we
I'm
need,
fat.
or if we're fat, we need our mind to be in the moment, and that's when we're talking about sensuality. So let's pretend pretend we're on a date night. Mika set up this beautiful place for you. We're going to start off with a nice massaging candle. We're going to take a shower together, right? We're going to have this candle
This
lit.
is date number like
Yeah.
9, okay, ladies?
That's right. That's
Date
right.
number 9
That's
or
the first
10.
date.
This is not date
No,
1.
no,
This is not the first
We're not going
date.
to
No,
speed
this
dating.
is not the first. No, this is not speed dating. This is where
This is
the
after the
couples are-
90-day rule.
No, it doesn't have to be after the 90-day rule. Does that still
I'm
exist?
joking.
Does that exist?
Probability? Check.
I don't know if that still exists. Does it, Patrick? Please.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. I'm sure it does.
So, take your nice
Okay,
shower.
so you light your candle.
Light your candle,
Okay,
and it's
alright.
burning. Meanwhile,
It's burning,
you're in the
alright.
shower.
Okay.
You take your mate out. So what this candle is a massage candle. It's not waxy. It's literally oil. So it's lit. The fragrance is all over the room. By the time you come out, so no, it's your pheromones are going because of the scent that you're getting from this candle. Start giving your partner a nice massage. Very
Keep in
sensual
mind, this is
massage.
warm oil
Warm
that is now
oil.
touching your skin.
So you light it, and then when it starts to melt,
Yes.
you start
It's
pouring it on.
literally oil that
Yeah,
you pour.
Yeah, you
I
just
don't
chew
wanna-
upon them.
No. It's like
We don't want Patrick there.
Patrick.
What?
He needs to come to class.
We
Patrick.
have to bring it to one of our
Patrick needs a
classes.
private lesson before he goes anywhere with that jar of
Yeah,
Oil.
it's
oil.
Smells
different
amazing.
fragrance, different scents.
Smells
So
amazing.
many different scents. So this
You
is
need it? Okay.
Let me see.
yeah.
Okay, so the candles are burning.
You
You're
know,
burning your oils.
Yeah, you're massaging your partner anywhere and everywhere that you want. So you have some people who like a little bit of bondage. If you're into bondage, just light bondage. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go bigger than light, that's okay. Then you have your gloves. Shh. We're not talking burlesque, are we? We're talking a little bit about
you
a handcuff.
You could put the gloves on,
you
then
know,
handcuffs.
you want your night to be memorable. And again, so it all depends on your preference. Oh, you know what I like?
What do you like, Donna?
I like everything, but I'm gonna focus on this because we're always talking about women and the paraphernalia you're talking about, Patrick. That we're always talking. So this is one of my favorite accessories for men that I like. It's a can I say penis online?
I think so.
You think penis is good?
Well, you just did.
I know, right? That's
keep
not,
it rolling.
That's not the word I wanted to say, but I'm
I
gonna be. So this is a penis ring for men.
Okay.
That comes with a vibrator, so it's like a 2-in-1 for men and women for their partner. This is like one of the
Is that a
best
remote
toy-
control?
It is a remote control.
That's funny.
Exactly. You put the ring on and you have the rabbit that's
And then you
stimulating.
determine the level of torture.
Saying,
Your
it's
eyes
torture,
are
torture
So much fun
pleasure.
with that?
Oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah.
I can see it.
Mika's playing around here.
I
Yeah.
can see it.
Naila, your eyes are lighting up. Let's find the guy
That was
first, okay?
Hey, you gotta imagine him there.
Yeah,
Can imagine-
close
okay.
your, close. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah. He's there.
here.
It's all
there.
about visualizing.
Okay,
okay,
He's
okay.
there.
Okay, so and then we have all these other little girly stuff. We can do. No, yeah, okay. Mika's favorite.
Not girly stuff. So what
assuming-
I
That's
really
not for
like.
I'm
girls,
assuming
that
this
is for
this
women.
is not to beat your bad pitney.
Patrick thought that was a microphone. Let's just point out that Patrick saw that on the table and thought it was a microphone.
No, you didn't.
It was upside down.
It was buried under everything. I thought it was the handle at first.
So by calling them out like that, Neil, I love it.
That's what happens.
Again,
I would hit you with this, but you might get the wrong idea.
You might like it. I think everybody here is getting red and flustered.
Just
Look
put
at that.
the paddle away, Patrick.
Again, this is a little teaser. It all depends on the measure of pain that you like. I mean, if you want to hit your partner really hard because that's what they like, so be it. Or you want to pat them, so be it.
So
It all
be
depends
it.
on the pleasure of pain, right? And then by the time you guys start dating, you're gonna know what is it that your partner like and what you don't like, right?
Now that's one of the things
Or you
that
find out
I think-
together.
one of the things I
Yes.
think that
Exactly.
People just
Exactly.
don't know.
Right?
Start mildly.
Yeah, how do you
start mild first,
Yes.
right?
when you figure,
Don't
so
start with the
if
paddle.
you're-
Start small.
Start
grew
with
up a certain
the
way.
hand.
and you didn't, this is foreign to you. Sort of, how do you bridge that gap?
Communication. You remember this? What we're talking about?
All about
Huge.
communication.
Good
So
communication.
the text messages that we were talking about earlier, and then the phone
smiley face.
calls and the smiley
With a
face.
smiley face.
These are little things that will come up because we have to pay attention to the signs, right?
Yes.
Because one person, they might be having these thoughts, and it's like, well, I don't know if this person's on that same level. You might say something or send something in a text, and depending on how they respond, it's like, okay. All right,
Right.
so we
Further,
can take
you
it there.
should stop
or
or
if they're
not.
just like,
Yeah.
hell no, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm not gonna take
So
it there.
next.
right? Next.
It's true.
Red flag, red flag, red flag. Just
flag.
next. Just next. There's
Red
way too many
flag.
fish in the sea.
But it's true though. This is where you're gonna start talking to people and know if this is the person that you can spend the rest of your life with.
Exactly.
But for a lot of women nowadays, especially in our late 30s, early 40s, sensuality and sex is huge in their books. And if you're not there with them, they're going to say next.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people though, they might think that, okay, so you start with a little bit something, and they in their minds they might be thinking all of a sudden they can be chained up, in their basement and being beaten.
So what's wrong with that?
For some people, Donna, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much.
Like some people might think
You can't introduce that.
You can't start with that.
slope,
You can't introduce with that.
Can you imagine?
No, there's gotta be some kind of build up to get there.
By the way, I saw your profile on POF and I like whips
man.
and chain. Well, I like whips and chain too. Time and place.
Yeah, no, that's
But if you didn't put it in your POF profile and they come up to you offering whips and chains, you might be a little too soon for that type of conversation.
let's start with some furry cuffs.
The furry cups.
Start there.
Exactly.
They're not bad. Not that bad.
Poor Patrick.
But yeah,
Patrick's actually loving this. Don't feel sorry for him at all.
I know he is.
that there are some people who shy away from this because they might feel, I'm going to use this because I really don't have a better word to say, but they might feel like it's a gateway thing into like serious S&M or something, and they may be afraid of that.
But
Right?
you have the ability to take it where you want to.
Right.
It's mild. If you want to go way out, then that's up to you.
And that's that communication thing again.
Yeah,
between you
yeah,
and
and
your partner,
especially
right?
when it's introduction. It's gonna come from those conversations, right? From those date nights that you have, and have you ever had this? Have you ever done this? Have you ever? It comes out, but then it goes back to the individual and them being comfortable with themselves.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
if they're not comfortable
Right.
with themselves,
conversation will come
they're
up too.
they're never gonna have those conversations.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like people have this idea that S&M is like you have no
Crazy.
say in
Yeah,
what happens to
yeah.
you. It's a conversation between you and your partner.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
Exactly.
Ultimately, that's what it always comes down to, right?
Especially if that partner that you're dealing with is going to be one of the partners that you're going to be with forever.
Right.
I mean, a hookup is different.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is what we want, and it's going to be done. But if this is a partner you want to spend the rest of your life with, communication has to take place, and you know your limits and how far you want to go. Because you have people they would try something once, and if they don't like it, they don't like it.
Yeah.
So if you hold, this conversation that we've had, you have parties or events where you share your products. What do you call them?
Desired parties.
Desire parties.
Desire parties.
Yeah.
Okay. And so at those you have men and women.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the I've never been to one of these things. Maybe I should.
Guide you. Yeah, you should.
But like, what is it? What's the atmosphere like? Are people generally like really shy about
It's fun.
talking about these things, or with their partner there? Because again, some people are they might be struggling with their communication in their relationship, and now they show up at an event like this, and then you're talking about that stuff, and then there's other people. What's it usually like?
First and foremost, they all know what they're coming to.
Right.
They know exactly what
they
a
know
desired
exactly
party
is.
Sometimes those types of things are the door that you need,
It
right?
Yes.
To
It
start the
helps to
conversation.
open up
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
conversation in the
Exactly.
mind, right?
I have a lot of the parties that the couples will talk willingly in front of a group of people because they're all like-minded and we're all here to either learn about ourselves or learned that we want some toys or some paraphernalia or something to introduce into the bedroom to, more probably enhance our sexuality, right? And then you have those who are shy. That those are the ones that would talk to me after. We'll find a private area, and then we'll talk after about what is it that they want and what their experiences are, or what they want to try. And then as the host, I will either, kind of tell them, or suggest certain things based on the conversation that we're having. For the last one we had, what's getting to be a big seller? Anal products. I even brought one. So nowadays, people are talking about anal products. The last party I have, these are going off the shelf because this again was taboo. One woman said to me, "Don't you think if a man wants to have anal, that means him have gay tendency?" No. Gay tendency has nothing to do with being gay.
Right.
Well, I kind of convinced her after we finished our conversation. But you know what? These are things, especially when it comes to this part, people like to talk about more private. So take them aside. And teach them about the different products. So what I try to do is have one of each product there that we talk about, and then open questions and answers, and then private questions and answers aside.
There's some people who feel that if we have to get a toy, then there's something wrong with our relationship, or there are some women who feel that they should never use this because that's what the guy's for. And then there are some guys who might be threatened. Well, my wife's using this, then what she need me for? And have you encountered that sort of thought?
Oh yeah, I definitely have encountered thoughts like that. But when it comes to the toys is just enhancing your relationship. There's nothing wrong with my partner. Every day you're going to be in the bedroom. Honestly, if you're going and having sex every day, it becomes monotonous. And you don't have to introduce toys. Yeah, you don't have to introduce toys.
Yes,
you don't necessarily have to introduce toys. What was that? Something
every day.
100 real quick.
Yeah.
Every day, Naila.
But
nothing. It's just I'm single.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
Every day,
when it comes to sex, Patrick, you don't have to necessarily involve toys. You know what I mean? You can just get out of the bedroom and do different things. You know what I mean? We just want our sex life to be exciting, and that's all it is. For me and a lot of people that's start using the toys, it brings a lot more focus because guess what? I'm not a selfish lover, right? And I'm hoping that my partner isn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking now, we have toys and I'm using the toys on myself or he's using it herself. It stimulates the mind because guess what? We're understanding each other. And especially if you're having that sex phase, it's a turn on for men to watch you, going through your emotion and vice versa. Yeah. And it's just a toy.
You say having your sex phase?
Sex phase. Yes. Everyone has a sex phase.
Male, I see a sex face already.
Everybody has a sex phase. Come on. Sex phase.
Yes, that phase, Patrick. You know that one.
You're practicing for everybody.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? We did that at the burlesque.
You practiced your sex face?
The face. You remember that look when you?
I don't think I want to see my sex face.
Oh, girl, you should. It's a beautiful thing.
No, it's okay.
Oh, look at Patrick. He's dying.
He's like, I want to come to one of those.
I feel like Patrick should have told me to stay home today. I shouldn't have been here today.
We want you here. I'm glad you're here, actually.
We're having way too much fun here with this. We've got I don't know, less than 10 minutes left.
Time flies.
I didn't even realize
when you're talking about sex. Time flies.
Okay, so again, a lot of what we talked about, it goes back to communication.
Yes.
Communicating with your partner. And even with, I did want to ask about, are you finding that a lot of the individuals that you're working with are couples who are now kind of like trying to rediscover themselves after children?
Yes. Definitely. Yep.
or just after a certain
Period of time.
Yeah, because you've been together and it's like, oh, it's been 10 years, it's been 20 years, it's been
We're getting
whatever
bored.
it is.
We're getting bored.
We've now almost sort of like become each other. Like it's just, everything is just routine. There's nothing new. There's no spontaneity. There's no...
Nothing.
It's just, ugh. And it's like, we got to get over this hump. And it's like, well, I don't know what to do.
What's next?
Because I would think that, so you get married in you meet your special someone in your early 20s, and you guys are like rabbits every day trying to figure stuff out, and then you end up with kids, and then you have to sort of navigate things a little bit different with kids. Then the kids get older and they start living their own life, and to some degree it's like, they don't like me anymore. And now it's like, I gotta look at you, like, and you got to look at me, and what do we do?
How do we get here again?
I know. What are we supposed to do today after dinner?
Yeah.
Because
I don't have to take anyone to soccer practice.
No kiddie soccer practice or anything like that. So, for couples that come to you in that sort of scenario, which I'm guessing is a lot that you're seeing, how do you help them?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked that question, because nowadays couples are so totally different than our parents back in the days. Our parents were just so glad that the kids are gone out of the house, that they can catch up on their movies and read books.
Where's Malachi? I can't wait.
But
I'm like, dude, get a job. I know you're 11. I love you. You're 11. I love you very much.
Yeah.
But come on.
You know what?
You'll be filling out that application form for him when he's 15.
Honestly, though, you know what? Because of what we do, I have to give thanks to social media, because there's so much things going out there now that everybody's curious. Oh, okay, I was reading this about this sexuality, or I'm reading about this club, or I'm reading about this. And because social media has become so huge, it opened every mind to try different things.
To so many things now, right?
But back in the days, they didn't have that kind of media. And probably if they did, they would have done it too.
Yeah.
But now it's so totally changed. Everybody can't wait for their kids to go to university or move out so they can start having fun with each other.
Back to themselves.
Because,
change the bedroom into a playroom.
Exactly. Mirrors on top of the wall, do their thing.
Mirrors
all over
in the roof.
Exactly.
Don't point at me. I'm not.
And a pole in the bedroom as well. So you know what? People are just open-minded now and want to try new things, especially if they want to stay with their partner and don't want to leave this partner to find something else. Because guess what? Even if they leave their first partner and go to somewhere else, another year or even less, that starts to get boring too. So it's a repeating cycle. So why not work on what you have?
Right.
And this is why we decide that we need to ignite that flame, because you know what? The flame is still there,
bring it back.
and all we want to do is ignite that flame to bring back their love for each other.
Right.
Why are we together for so long, right?
Yeah.
And I find once people become open in that sense, especially when they start talking about introducing maybe like props or toys and stuff like that, and even for what I do when it comes to the whole travel, right? You're planning all of these things, it's a couple's getaway or whatever it is, but then once you've opened up your mind to introduce props, these are things that are it's very easy for you to throw in your suitcase, right? And then you take that play away. And there's just something about being away, being removed from like your everyday normal surroundings. Now you're kind of forced where it's just the two of you to connect just the two of you.
For some people.
Reconnect.
It's the most, in my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful things that you can ever experience because you're now away. For me, I'm a water girl. I'm a wind girl. I'm all for you're away, you're in your hotel room, the balcony door's open, your window's open, you wake up, you hear the ocean just kind of splashing, especially at night. You got your candle going, you come out the shower, whatever it is, or you go to dinner and you've got your sexy outfit on, and I mean, you're in the wherever you are, so it's like it's a thing for you to be sexy. You're already setting the tone from that evening.
So your mind,
you come in
mental.
and you're stimulating now all of your senses, right? Your hearing, your sight, your smell, your touch, everything. There's something about that for me where it's like, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, how many kids you have. You take one of those trips or one of those nights, you go away, and you don't even have to be in the Caribbean. You can create that. You go away, there's like music, you download certain sounds or things like that, and you're listening to it while you're away. You've now created that experience. You've almost kind of forced yourself in a situation where you have to reconnect.
Yes.
Right.
And the spark, it just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
it just comes back. It's like it automatically does. So it's now for you when you get back home to say, we're going to continue this. Or if you feel like you're in a situation because of maybe the age of your children and surroundings and family members being in the home, you can't make that now a regular thing where it's like, it's one night every 3 months or whatever it is. We need this. We need to eat. We need to breathe. This is something else that we need to do because our relationship is just, it's that important to us.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be expensive.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It does not. You
Get a
get
Groupon deal to Niagara Falls.
Exactly. It does not have to be
$80
expensive
one night.
at all. You plan for it every day. You put on like a $5, $2 here and there, and it's
this
like,
is our getaway.
It's true. And Groupon does couples getaways too.
Yeah, they do.
You can
There
get
you
that
go.
stuff.
they do.
There you go.
All about the imagination.
It is.
We've got like just a couple minutes left, and okay. So before we wrap this up,
How do we find you?
We've talked a lot about communication, how important that is, and it seems like the one of the best ways to keep that connection and keep that fire burning is really through the communication piece.
Absolutely.
You can toss in as much toys or paraphernalia or whatever you want to call them.
Products.
You know, products. You can toss in as much product.
Get it right,
Yes,
man.
thanks, Naila. As you want, but if you're not communicating, then you're really not really making that connection. I would say, aside from that, in 15 seconds or less, if you guys could say, what's the one thing that you would say, advice you would give to, somebody who's looking to give to Naila? There we go. She thinks she's well adjusted and everything, and she's looking for a nice guy. What's the one thing that you would say for her to do?
Make some eye connection, Naila. Start talking to people.
Look in their eye.
Looking at them eye. Yeah, looking at them eye. And start talking to everyone.
Okay.
I know everybody has criteria that what is it that they want, but sometimes
It's true,
go
certain
below the
people I won't
surface.
talk to.
Go below the surface. And
You never know. You don't. It might be the one for
Yeah.
you. You just don't want to
Okay.
talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just go below the surface and actually open up and pay attention.
Right.
Okay.
Pay attention.
And
For me, visualize who you want to be with, who you want to meet, even what you want them to look like, how you want them to feel, how you want them to smell. Visualize every little detail and focus on that image, because once you do, guaranteed he'll come.
what's your website?
www.mikavanvield.com. That's MICCAVANVIELD.com.
And
Mine is easy. SavageDesires.ca.
thank you guys for being on the show and for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thanks for
And
having us.
Yeah,
Good
this has
chat,
been fun.
ladies.
And we will find a guy for Naila yet.
Yes, we will find you one. Don't you worry.
Visualize.
Naila.
Start with that.
Breathe.
Thank you everyone for joining us this week on the show, and
See you next
we will
time.
hear you next week. Take care.
The best internet radio station around. iLife Radio, the new social network. Rare groove, revival, slow jams, upfront, old school.
The best music around in stereo sound.
Music back to back to back.